for this conference. I'm just going to try and go inside with my colleague just to show you some of the visuals of the delegates singing inside in order for them showing their support in the conference and essentially having that matter struck off the court roll. As you see, the various negotiations that are happening for the leadership positions, the likes of Mlibo Kobeshiano, who's contesting to be the provincial chairperson, is negotiating with Babalo Matigizela in order for them to go join forces and work with one another against Oscar Maboyane, whom is seemingly no longer willing to negotiate with the Babalo Matigizela Corps. But we will try and go to Babalo Matigizela now, who's there on stage, just to try and get a perspective from him and the negotiations that he's doing with Mlibo Kobeshiane. He did earlier on try to speak to him and he did run away, but we are going to him now and we are not going to back down on the question. Mr. Matigizela, how far are your negotiations with Mr. Mlibo Kobeshiane, particularly when it comes to the contestation in this conference?
No, we've not really finalized. Still at the same advanced stages.
What are the discussions mainly centralized around? Is it reconfiguration of your top 5 officials, or where do you slot him in if you find one another?
No, it was just working together. We did not go to that extent. It might be a bit too late to reconfigure the top 5, but it should be more of working together. That was the discussion.
ANC National Chairperson Gwede Mantashe spoke to you and Oscar Mabuyane here on the stage and said, you guys must discuss it and come together and unite. Was that practically possible now?
Look, that's what all the leaders have been saying. Well, let's try to unite the Eastern Cape. Let's try to find each other. I'm not sure, but anything is possible. But it's highly unlikely at this stage. But I can't say for sure. But seems highly unlikely at this stage.
You ANC leaders always speak about unity, coming together, being on and negotiating. Why are you failing to negotiate amongst yourselves, particularly when it comes to unity issues? You were singing that song of Oliver Tambo Bambisani Lasam, basically saying, let's unite. But why, when it comes to the proof being in the pudding, why is it difficult to do?
It's not really difficult. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes it's timing. Like now, we're about to adopt the credentials, go for voting. So there can't be enough time to engage, to exchange views, to talk to everyone. So, yeah.
Do you come with the dark cloud of people who may perceive you to be anti-ANC president and to be supporting the former Treasurer General, Dr. Zwelini Mkhize?
That's a view sponsored by media. And some people who have been running a campaign by portraying themselves as pro-president and putting others as anti-president. I've never said I will support Zwelini Mkhize. I've always been a staunch supporter of the president. I've always, every time, overemphasized the support for the president and the need for the president. But it's the unfortunate part of it for this provincial conference. Maybe there are people who felt they might be relevant when they portray themselves as pro and others as anti for reasons not known. Conference is ending tomorrow. National conference in December. My views, I doubt they will change.
What are your views going towards that December conference of the ANC?
I still hold firm views that the president must be given a second chance to lead this country.
When it comes to your supporters on the credentials issue, can you guarantee that your supporters, unlike the supporters of the others in 2017, may not descend this plenary into chaos where we see a festival of chairs?
No, there won't be a festival of chairs. There will be a festival of ideas. You can see people are saying they are happy. Look, this has been a different contest altogether. On how we're running our contest, you've not seen us doing cadres forums, running campaigns. We've been just on the ground engaging comrades. That is why you can see, even amongst ourselves, you can feel comradely relations. There are no tensions, there's nothing. So even with our delegates, it's just singing. No, there'll be no tensions. It will be one of the most smooth conferences in the province.
On the Dr. Khubusane region matter that was sent to court, what is your view, particularly with the matter now being struck off the roll?
Look, my view at first is comrades must allow internal processes to be exhausted. At the moment, internal processes were still in process. So, but now that the matter has been dealt by the court, comrades have to abide by the court decision. But we must always discourage people who run to courts when the organization is still processing its internal matters.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matigizela. That is Mr. Babalo Matigizela. As you can see, we'll just show you visuals of the conference. Once again, they are singing songs pro their desired leaders of the province. They are jovial, particularly after that Dr. W.B. Khubusane region matter was struck off the roll on the issues of urgency. And you can see now that the conference and plenary will continue, and they will essentially have their choices of electing the leaders that they want. I'm seeing the visual. I'm seeing in Mr. Enoch Kodongwane, who is an ANC NEC member. You are seeing there, he's taking videos of this conference. He was central to trying to find a unity slate here in the province. We will try and ask him a few questions. Mr. Kodongwane, we're live on the SABC. How are you feeling about the conference, Mr. Kodongwane? The matter has been struck off the roll in court.
What?
The matter has been struck off the roll in court. How are you feeling?
No, I'm not feeling any. I don't have any emotional feelings about any of what's happening here. So I can't answer that question as to whether it is, for me, it is useful in the sense that it allows the conference to proceed, which is what everybody in this room wants.
You've been trying to get the two leaders and the three leaders with to come together. How far are your interactions with all three of them?
No, it has always been my wish for years that in conference like this, we should not create an environment where a conference is intended to create hostilities. It must be seen, even elections must be seen as a democratic process, and to entrench democracy than to create hostilities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kodongwane. I'm just saying, Mr. Pumulo Muswale, the former provincial chairperson, I'm definitely going to take this opportunity. Mr. Muswale, it's been a while since we saw you.
Yes.
How are you feeling that we're not seeing a festival of chairs this time around?
Oh no, it's good. It's very good. I think the mood is okay. It's very vibrant, and for me, it shows the organization has a better chance. I'm really hopeful.
When you look at the ANC now and compare it to back then, how would you feel right now seeing them still so heavily divided as you were divided back then in 2017?
Well, certainly that is very sad, I must say. But it's a challenge that is always there to be attended to, tackled, and I hope that however this conference goes, there'll still be work after conference.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pumulo Muswale. That is the former provincial chairperson of the ANC here in the Eastern Cape, Mr. Pumulo Muswale. We have to cut this broadcast short now because we are being chased out.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Samkele Maseko, who's inside the ANC's Eastern Cape province, who is in East London. We will be back with more details about that court challenge. We'll speak to a reporter about that later on.
Happy